What's up, expats and travelers alike? I'm Josh with Expats Everywhere.
And I'm Kalie.
And in this video today, we're going to go over the 4 reasons why we left the US and moved to Portugal. I'm going to give my 2, Kalie's going to give her 2, and then we're going to have some bonus stuff at the end where things that we've learned about moving here that you guys need to know.
Let's go.
Reason number 1 why we moved is we wanted to get back to the European lifestyle. We started our expat journey in Spain, and we loved the European lifestyle with how much slower it was and how people took time out to like meet up with friends and having a coffee together or going out for a beer or tapas. Love that. Glass of wine here in Portugal.
Yeah, I really love the cafe culture. So when the weather's good, and depending on where you are in Portugal, it could be all year round, but when the weather's good, you just go and you sit outside, and like Josh said, you have some food, you have a coffee, you have a drink, and it's just relaxing, and you can people watch, you can talk with people, you can have your pet, if you have a pet. It's just a really relaxing type of lifestyle that we loved when we lived in Spain, and we knew we could get that in Portugal.
Yeah, and people, I think, have adopted this type of kind of cultural thing, certainly with the cafe culture in other parts around the world. But man, it's so authentic here. It's not forced. It's great.
Yep, it just feels like that's what you should be doing.
All right, reason number 2.
Yeah, that moves into my reason. My first reason, we wanted to get back into the European lifestyle, but when we lived in Spain, we had visited Portugal many times, and I really wanted to live in Portugal, specifically in Porto. We had done a lot of travel throughout Portugal and really loved it, but loved Porto. So when we were talking about getting back to Europe, Porto was definitely really high on our list because we just loved when we visit. So we were like, we want to live here one day.
Yeah, stumbling around the streets. I mean, strolling around the streets of Porto is is amazing. It's such a nice environment here. People are friendly. Love it.
It's great that you have the feeling of the river. So again, that cafe culture, you can sit along the river or do anything really along the river, or you have the beach right by too. So you get kind of different vibes in one city. Also, you have the city life. So it's quite a cool mix that you can get a feel. One day you can be in the city and one day you could be at the beach. So I really like that aspect of Porto specifically.
For sure. Number 3.
Right, so we wanted to live in Portugal, but how easy was it? The good thing was, and that's my reason, is the visa was very doable.
Yeah.
When we look into other places to live, a lot of that research is done by me.
Yeah.
So it was easy to find how to get to Portugal. So not only was it easy to do the research and figure it out, but then actually go through the process of working digitally. There was actually a way to get a visa to work digitally, and then going through that process wasn't too difficult. So that was definitely one of my main reasons that Portugal was high on the list.
Yeah, we were in a moment in our life where we had kind of taken a little break from international school teaching, and we were looking to do something different, which actually leads me to number 4. My reason is that we knew we had to move and we had to go somewhere to continue this channel and to keep this channel kind of going with kind of a living thing that was going. Now, what I mean by that is being back in the US and being expats everywhere, it's a little difficult. It's a little contradictory now, isn't it?
Now let me interject real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Being back in the States, we left Singapore and found out I was pregnant. So we were in the States, but we weren't really wanting to be there. So I think, for us being expats everywhere, we still wanted to be expats, but we had gone back to the States, what we thought was going to be for a short time, but then we found out I was pregnant. So then we ended up having Valencia there, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So we were stuck way longer in the States than we had planned on being. So it was just supposed to be a short kind of few months to spend some holiday time with family that we hadn't done in a really long time, and then get back abroad again. We just were stuck there a lot longer than planned.
Yeah, but let's get into the reasons that these guys might want to know for why they should move to Portugal, right?
It's a beautiful Portugal.
So, bonus material here, why should you guys move here? The cost of living, I think, is extremely reasonable. I'm not gonna say it's like as cheap as, I don't know, Thailand.
That's funny.
But I think it's quite cheap here.
Yeah, it's definitely cheap, and some people might think that, or say that it's not as cheap as it used to be. I think because the country itself is becoming more popular for expats, for retirees, so maybe it's not as cheap as it once was, but it still is very cheap and affordable. So I think to kind of add on to that, if you are looking to retire or work digitally and you're on a fixed income, Portugal is a very good place to live.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we talked about with our personal reasons, another hidden type reason is the culture. And there's kind of pros and cons, I would say, to the culture. So some stuff that you should be aware of is there is this laid back mentality, and that is like the cafe culture, but it's also within
every aspect of life.
Yes. So if you're looking to get paperwork done quickly, in the US, we're like, bam, 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 let's get this done. Not here.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Another example would be like packages. Like if you have something shipped to you, who knows when it could come, especially from the US. It might take a long time. You
might have to pay for it.
You might have to pay for it. Yeah. Right. So I think that you just need to be aware of the laid back culture in all aspects. So if you come here, chill.
Yeah, I mean, listen, no one ever said, actually probably some people said this, but they were wrong. No one ever said that living abroad was easy or living outside of your home country is easy. It's not easy, there are challenges, but it's fun. I mean, like, it's interesting to have to take on these challenges, but it's not always easy. So while the cost of living here is lower and the cafe culture is awesome, it's balanced out by some of the bureaucratic things which are slow, and even Portuguese people think they're slow, which is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, so you just have to adapt and go in with an open mind.
My last big hidden benefit to living in Portugal is that even though Portugal's small, there's a really good variety of places that you can live and that you can call home. There's a couple islands that you could move to if you want to. There are definitely 2 cities in Lisbon and Porto that you can go to. And there's just a variety of nice, livable places, towns, cities for you to check out.
Yeah, I mean, we've known people who have done like homesteading and stuff. So if you don't want to be in a city, you can definitely get some land, have a garden, and do that kind of lifestyle here too, which is nice. So there's a big variety.
Yep. To let you guys know, because we are living here, we do have a playlist that you can check out right here. It's got a ton of information on how we made our move and how you guys can make your move. And if you've been seeing several of our videos, that's YouTube trying to tell you guys subliminally that you need to hit the subscribe button and become one of our subscribers. So you can hit the subscribe button right here. Just hit that subscribe button.
And then move to Portugal.
That's it.
Bye.
Now, let's get moving.